My favorite quote from the movie The Matrix is from a kid. The kid that Neo met when he was going to see the Oracle. I think he was going to see the Oracle for the first time. So he sees this kid sitting on the floor. The kid had a spoon on his hand, and the spoon was bending. And he was surprised, like, how did you do that? And the kid said, do not try to bend the spoon, because that is impossible. But instead, only try to realize the truth. And he was like, what truth? And the kid said, there is no spoon. So you realize that it's not the spoon that bends, it's your mind. It's only your mind that bends. Do not try to bend the spoon, but only try to realize the truth. Which means it's not even easy to realize the truth. You must try. You know what I'm saying? Only try to realize the truth. And you realize that it's not even the spoon that's bending, it's your mind. Do not try to control your dream, because that is actually impossible. In fact, the harder you try, the more you suffer in your dreams. Have you realized that? If you are desperate in your dream and you're like, yo, I gotta make things work, hey, that's when you suffer. Ever been in a situation where you were trying to run away from a monster that's chasing you? The harder you try to escape from that monster, the harder it is for you to run. Because you don't realize the truth. Which is that the dream is not real. It's only an illusion. So you'd realize that it's not an actual monster that is chasing you. It's only a projection of your mind. And that's all that you needed to realize. That's all. Everything is happening in the mind. I will make videos telling you what is going on in the world. Yes. But the final truth is that everything is happening in the mind. That is the final truth. I'll tell you about the archons. I'll tell you about the demiurge. I'll tell you about the Anunnakis. I'll tell you about your friends, your enemies. You know what I'm saying? I'll tell you about women. I'll tell you about men. The final truth is that everything is happening in the mind. Which means you don't actually control reality by trying too hard. You actually control reality by detaching yourself. So don't try to control reality. Only try to realize the truth. Detach yourself. Things usually go well when you detach yourself. And people know that. It doesn't matter what you believe. You could be religious. You could believe in superstitions. You could consider yourself a spiritual person. You could consider yourself a philosopher. You could consider yourself a nihilist. Things usually work out when you detach yourself. Hey, that girl that you've been chasing, she doesn't want you, does she? Do this. Pay attention to another woman. I'm telling you, just pay attention to another woman. Don't forget about her. Don't even pay attention to another woman because you're trying to get her. Just forget about her. Come and comment on this video. Forget about her. Being desperate doesn't lead you anywhere. Trying desperately to control reality doesn't lead you anywhere. The hell realm feeds off our emotions 100%. So if you are desperate about something, you are giving the hell realm the energy that it wants. So it's gonna make sure that you're not gonna get it because it's getting energy from you. Understand? That's how it works. It's upside down. Like, this reality is actually upside down. But do not try to bend the spoon. It's impossible. Do not try to control reality. That is impossible. Detach yourself and watch what happens. And you have to be so detached that no matter what the hell realm tries to do, you don't take it seriously. Just watch. Do not take this seriously. Remember when you were in primary school and you lost your pen, or you failed a test, or you didn't do your homework? It felt like the whole world was ending. The problem is you were taking things too seriously. This is not to be taken seriously, and the reason why it shouldn't be taken seriously is because it's not even real. You take your dreams seriously thinking they're real, but they're not. And you suffer a lot in your dreams. Your dreams even turn into nightmares sometimes. Why? Because you take these dreams too damn seriously. It's not even about, people think it's about thinking positive thoughts. No. Let me tell you something, bro. Let me tell you something. There are people who are cowards. I'm talking about real cowards who are afraid of everything. They're always thinking that the worst things are going to happen, and these things never happen to them. There are people who are very positive, who think they own the world. They ain't afraid of nothing and bad things happen to them. It's not about what you think and what you believe. It's not even that. Just detach yourself. You see, as long as you're not feeding these negative entities that want your energy. Okay, let me ask you a serious question. I believe that you've watched the Truman Show. If you have not watched the Truman Show, make sure that after finishing watching this video, watch that movie. Watch the Truman Show. It looks boring in the beginning, but watch it. Just watch it. Watch it. It's a movie that every person who's trying to reach high levels of consciousness, who's trying to be free, who's trying to be independent, who doesn't want to be controlled, who doesn't want to be manipulated should watch. Let me ask you a question, and I would like you to give me an answer in the comment. What was the best way that Freeman could have freed himself? Was it best that he tries to escape the town? Like, was it that the best way for him to escape? Or not even to escape, but to free himself, to set himself free? You might say, yeah, it was the best way, but that was very dangerous, too damn dangerous. In fact, he only made it, in my opinion, he only made it because he was supposed to. Scripted. In the real world, he wouldn't have made it. If there was a town where everyone was acting and there was only one person who was not acting, the way that he was treated would have traumatized him so much that it would have been hard for him to even want to try to escape using a boat. And even if he tried, he would not have trained himself enough to be able to do that. He would have died. 100%, he would have died. You know what Truman should have done? He should have told everyone the truth. He should have said, this will sound crazy, I know. But I believe that in a place like this, truth will be something crazy. I do believe that my life is controlled. I do believe that when I meet someone, something or someone planned for me to meet that person. I believe that my life is scripted. I have seen enough evidence to believe that. So I'm no longer going to feed your egos. I'm no longer going to play the game. I believe this is not real, 100%. I'm just going to do what I want to do. If you want to watch, keep on watching. I'm just going to do what I want to do. I'm not going to take anything seriously, blah, 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 blah. That's it. He just lives his life. Things happen. He's not being entertaining anymore. He's not playing the role that they wanted him to play anymore. You know what I'm saying? I told you that one of the best ways to get rid of bullies, if someone is bullying you, one of the best ways to get rid of them is by not feeding their ego, right? Reacting negatively, reacting the way that they don't expect you to react. You know, like if usually when your bully says something about your face, you get angry and you react. They're gonna keep on bullying you, bullying you, bullying you. If one day they say something about your face, you don't say anything, you don't react, you just do what you want to do, and don't say anything, don't even pay attention to them. You just do what you want to do. Don't give them any. They will stop. They'll look crazy. They'll look stupid. But if you react, they're not gonna look stupid. They are winning. People are going to cheer with them because they are winning. You are giving them your energy. You are giving them what they want. What they want is your reaction, and you are giving them that. You see? You see how to beat this thing? Is to detach yourself. Sometimes you'll be in situations where it seems like, this is serious, like a very serious situation. No. Everything is just planned, and everything is scripted. Why wouldn't it be scripted? Why will it be random? You don't even know what you are. You didn't even choose to be born. You just found yourself experiencing this. So why wouldn't it be scripted? Why? Tell me why it wouldn't be scripted. Like it's just random. The Big Bang happened randomly, and here you are, behind your computer, working for a boss who doesn't care about you at all, who talk down on you each and every day, who destroys your ego each and every day, who makes you feel small, who's not paying you enough. No. It's scripted. It's scripted. We are in a Truman Show. And of course, because everything is happening in the mind, of course there will be clues because everything is happening in the mind. So of course there will be movies like The Truman Show. Of course there will be movies like The Matrix. Don't think that because this is an illusion, you are already defeated. No, you're not. There will always be, in any dream, there's in this like the movie Inception, there's something that I liked about the movie. Whenever forgot the character that DiCaprio was playing, but he would always encounter his wife that ended her life in the movie. He would always encounter, even when he was not in his own dream. She's supposed to be his projection, but how does she appear in someone else's dream? Why am I telling you about his wife? It's because there is something that that you might have forgotten. It also finds a way to come into this reality. Maybe not in ways that are obvious, right? But it does. It still does. That's why you must also pay attention to your dreams. They're always trying to tell you something about reality and about yourself. There's always, not necessarily, it's not that you dream so that you can realize something, but there's something that you can realize because it's happening in your mind. So if you pay close attention, there will be some hidden truth in the dream that you're going to realize. So if you pay close attention, there will be hidden truth in this reality that you're going to realize. You're not completely powerless. You're not completely defeated. Just realize that it's all in the mind, and it's a mind game. That's all it's ever been. It's a mind game. Everything is happening in the mind, right? It's happening in the mind. So do not try to control this illusion, right? Because that is impossible. Your girlfriend leaves you. Your wife leaves you. Do not try to get her back. Your man leaves. Don't even try. Don't even try. If you see that they're leaving and you are at fault, they're just, you're not at fault, they're just leaving. I'm talking about, there are situations where you have done something wrong and the person is like, okay, now I'm giving up. That's a different situation. I'm talking about a situation where they're just leaving. Maybe they found someone else. They don't want you anymore, right? Don't try to get them back at all. Let's say there is something that you desperately want. You believe you deserve it. But somehow when you're trying to get it, it seems like saying things that are not supposed to happen to stop you from getting that thing. Relax. Focus on other things. There's so many things that you want. Focus on other things. Give it zero energy. Focus on other things. You probably get it when you try again to get it after you focus on other things. You're not trying to control reality. Okay, I want to give you this simple example. When I was young, I had home theater, right? My dad finally bought me a home theater. I told you that it took years for my dad to buy me a home theater, because not years actually, like maybe 2 years. Yeah, and I loved music growing up. So the home theater that he bought me, it wasn't that good. Like something was wrong with it. You play music, sometimes it doesn't play, sometimes it doesn't switch on. So one day it stopped working and I was like, okay, it's fine. I'm gonna just focus on other things. I didn't try to switch it on. I just left it like that. A few days later, my mind is not even there. I don't know what I was trying to do actually. I accidentally pressed the button that switches on, and then it started working again. That day, when it didn't work, I tried it multiple times, but then I let it go. And I realized that most of the time when something that, like a TV, a cell phone, camera, something that I use, if it stops working and I don't give it a lot of attention, and I don't feel bad, and I just focus on other things, it starts working again. It's so weird. It gets to a point where I know that it's gonna work. Like, if my laptop looked like it is crashed, I'd be like, okay, fine. Probably get another laptop. Let me just focus on other things now. Blah, 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 blah. It starts working again. The laptop that ended up not working was a laptop that when it stopped working, I had real problems. Like, there's a lot of things that I do with this laptop. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it didn't work. There's a reason why it's hard for you to get what you really want. It's because something feeds off the energy that you release when you're not getting what you want. You see, when you're desperate for something and you're not getting it, and you find that it's easy for other people to get it, and you're like, why can't I get it? Is there something wrong with me? You start judging yourself. You start feeling insecure. You start looking down. Yeah, that's what the hell realm wants. That's how you keep on losing. So the answer is in detachment, just like I've been telling you. It's you realizing that, this is not real. So you must try to realize that this is not real, because it's not easy. I mean, if you are working in a big city, there's a lot of people who are doing their own things, driving different cars. Someone passes you driving like a car that cost 5 million. You're like, damn. Some guy passes and he's all swagged up, and you're like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, people seem to be doing way better than you, and you compare yourself to this. No, realize that this is not real. At least not in the way that you think, right? It's not real in a way that you think, right? It's actually an illusion. So you need to pay attention to how things happen and what they actually mean, and figure out what you need to detach yourself from, and at what point do you detach yourself from something. It's a mind game. When you go out today, you are going to be playing a mind game, right? Every person that you meet, everything's happening in your mind. Everything that you encounter, it's happening to either wake you up or pull you back. But Everything. Whether you meet a person and you don't even talk to them, maybe that person will make you feel like maybe that person will make you look down on yourself, right? Maybe you meet someone who reminds you of someone who bullied you or who stole from you or who betrayed you, and then you start thinking all these negative things, right? It ruins your day because yeah, that's how it works. Or you meet a person who reminds you of something positive that's happened to you, and they make you feel, you know what I'm saying? Everything that you'll see, every word that I'm saying to you right now, it could either make you feel good or make you feel bad, right? Everything, even this thing, you're seeing everything that you're seeing for a reason. Okay, I have to put this right. Not for a reason, but there is. It's everything is important. Let me put it that way. Let me not say you're seeing what you're seeing for a reason. I'm gonna say everything is important, meaning that there is something that you get from it. So realize that if something is not making you feel the way that you want to feel, the best thing to do is to detach yourself, right? The best thing to do isn't to try to control. The best thing to do is in trying to engage, right? The best thing to do is in trying to react. The best thing to do is in explaining how something hurts you. I'm hurt. I'm hurt. You've hurt me. Don't do that. That's what the Matrix want. This reminds me of okay, there were these people who were in court. This guy, I don't know what he did, but he did something horrible. So these people try to express themselves, trying to explain to this guy how much he's hurt them, and he was just smiling the whole time. They even tried to go to him and beat him because of how angry they were. But that's what he wanted. He continued to laugh when the police restrained him. So you don't try to explain to the whole room how much is hurting you. You see, when you explain to a person, you're explaining how much, you're also explaining to the whole room itself. You're explaining to the force that you cannot really understand. That's like a mind virus, no matter what you want to call it. You're explaining to this force how much is hurting you. So it's happy, isn't it? Because that's what it wants. That's how it gains what it wants from you. So you explaining how it's hurting you isn't going to help you. It's not like it's going to now be compassionate, be like, yeah, this person, they've been through. That's why you mustn't feel sorry for yourself. I've been saying this for a very long time. It needs to get to a point where you know what you're up against and don't feel sorry for yourself, because when you feel sorry for yourself, you are giving it energy, Just try to be as detached as possible when you encounter a situation that you don't prefer. Just try to be as detached as possible. And always be ready to detach yourself from things. Always be ready. Know that things can change. The hell realm can put you in a good situation just to hurt you, basically. It puts you in a good situation. When you're comfortable, things change. And now you're in a bad situation. And it's going to hurt because you were in a good situation and things changed. You get what I'm saying? It's like if you bought a car. That's good. You've wanted a car. So you bought the car. 1 month later, your car gets stolen. In fact, let me put it this way. Let's just say you win the lottery. You haven't worked hard. You just won. You haven't been betting your whole life. You just decided to bet one day and you won. And you bought a car with the money that you won. A month later, if that car gets stolen, you're going to feel the way that you would not have felt if you didn't win the lottery. You get what I'm saying? So you won the lottery, you bought the car got stolen. Now it feels like something is missing. Isn't that what the forces that's making sure that not even making sure, but that's trying desperately to make you suffer once? I gave you this example from the last Matrix movie. I feel that it explains life. When I keep on forgetting what they call this guy, but the guy who created the last Matrix that Neo was trapped in. Oh, they call him the analyst. He explained to Neo he was controlling the Matrix. It was very powerful. He was able to slow down time. He was that powerful. He was able to control people. Like he had NPCs in the Matrix. So he explains he shot Trinity, but then he made everything slow. But he wasn't slow. He was the only one who wasn't slow. He made Neo slow. He made the bullet slow. He made Trinity slow. And Neo tried desperately to stop the bullet, but he couldn't. And then the analyst explained to him that, hope and despair are nearly identical in code. And he explained to him that, no, it works like this. If only I can move faster to catch to catch the bullet, maybe I can say, yeah, that's, and he said, the more we manipulate you, the more we play with your emotions, the more energy you produce. And that's it. That's how it works. That's exactly how it works. You see, so the more these outcomes manipulate us, give us things, take them away from us, or make us feel like we can get these things that we want, but then we fail, the more energy we produce. You see? There's a reason why people fall out of love. You're in love with someone, you're vibing, and then you fall out of love. Why does these things happen? You think that it's just nature. It's not that. It's how they plan things to be in this realm. It's how they get us to suffer. It's that easy. There's a reason why there's always conflict in the world. There's wars, nonsense, really, social media, toxic as they come. Yeah, it's because these beings want your energy, and they get it best when they are manipulating you. But if you are detached, then you're not easy to manipulate. Can you manipulate a person who's detached? How? How? How do you manipulate a person who's detached? Because if a person is detached, they don't care. Say what you say, they don't care. See, the hell realm wants you to care. Not like the hell realm doesn't want you to care. It wants you to care. Because that's how it benefits. If you didn't care, it wouldn't benefit. So it's because you care that it's actually benefiting. Keep that in mind. So if you look at this as an illusion and you believed, 100% it's an illusion. That's when you start growing. It doesn't mean that things wouldn't affect you. It means that it will get to a point when nothing affects you. You get what I'm saying? It works like this. If something really bad has just happened, it hurts like crazy, right? It affects you like crazy. But after some time, because you are detaching yourself from it, it doesn't. You can think about it and it doesn't. So if already nothing is real, when things happen, it feels like they didn't. So it doesn't really affect you. Because it's just a show. You could watch a movie where maybe something that you don't like happens. But because it's not real, that's not what you're going to be thinking about the whole day, stressing about it the whole day. It's not real. You just watch the movie and be like, oh, Something like that, and you forget that in the movie that you're watching, that happened. But realizing that this is not real, believing without a doubt that this is not real is difficult. It's very difficult because it seems real. And you don't have a point of like you don't remember being outside of it. This is all that you remember. And you do feel physical pain. And you do want things to happen a certain way. You do get angry. You do fall asleep. You do get thirsty. So it feels real because of that. Like when you're playing a video game, if the character becomes hungry, you don't feel hungry. You could be eating and the character that you're playing gets hungry and he wants to eat. And it doesn't feel real. You don't even care, right? But because it's you who feels hunger here in this realm, of course you're going to care, right? So that's the problem. You need to be so conscious that you realize that even though you can suffer physical pain, this realm doesn't focus more on making you suffer physical pain. It's focusing more on making you suffer emotionally, right? It's focusing more on making you suffer emotionally than making you suffer physically. I remember I told you about the TV series The Good Place, where 4 people were taken to hell. In that hell, there seemed to be many people, like more than 300 people. But the other people were just demons. They were not real. It was only them who were real and who didn't know what was going on. But one lady did realize that, oh, no, this is not a good place. Because they were told that they're in a good place, but there were always disasters that were happening, There were always disasters that were happening. Like everything was planned, everything was scripted. Two of them actually didn't belong there, like according to what they were supposed to believe. Like they didn't belong there. They were supposed to be in hell. So bad things only happened because they were there and they were not telling the truth. And people there didn't understand why bad things kept on happening. So they were always, and be encountering problems, always suffering emotionally. And the lady realized something. She was like, why is it that since we got here, we've actually been suffering? If this is the good place, why? Because the good place is supposed to be perfect, but since we got here, we've always been suffering. What if this is not the good place? What if this is the bad place? And then after the demon that created the whole thing realized that, okay, now she can see that. He started laughing and he told her that, no, we're just going to wipe off your memories again. You're going to come back. But then every time they brought them back, that lady was able to realize that they were in a bad place. But he said something important. He said, hell used to be this place where people were tormented by fire and all that. But, it got to a point where they got kind of like used to that. They realized that, no, actually, emotional or psychological suffering can also be as severe or worse. So they wanted to torture them psychologically, So that's how we're suffering in this realm. We're not suffering. People are not suffering physically. Like it does happen that people suffer physically, but really most people are suffering emotionally. You see? And even if, I remember, I do believe I gave you this example. I'm not sure because it's something that I wanted to talk about actually like 2 or 3 days back. When I broke my leg, I don't believe I recorded this, but I thought about it and I wanted to use this as an example. So when I broke my leg, it was 2001. I was 8. I think I was 8. The pain I felt is like the worst pain that I've ever, like that was the worst pain that I've ever felt in my life. And even now, I still haven't felt the pain that I felt when I broke my leg. Like that was really painful. So I broke my leg and started screaming. My dad came and he said, yeah, I told you not to play, blah, 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 blah. You know how like black parents are, like black parents, they're not going to be like, oh, you're hurt, and then they try to help you. Like my dad, that's what he said. He's like, I told you not to be stubborn. I told you to listen to me, and blah blah blah. And then he went back to sleep. Then after some few hours, he came back, and he found that I still couldn't walk. Oh, actually, my grandmother, she was blind. She came to where I was because I was still crying, and then she gave me her stick. And she said, try to walk, but I couldn't even use a stick because even moving a little bit, like even like when your leg is broken, even if you do this, it's gonna be super painful. Like your leg mustn't even move. So I had to crawl, and it was really painful, like really painful, and then sleep next to her. The pain continued, and I had to go into the room and sleep, so they had to lift me up. That was really painful. And then, yeah, I slept. Now, after some time, the pain wasn't that strong, right? After some time. Why? Because I was not moving. It's not that the leg was healing. No. Like the mind was getting used to the pain. It's like, if I'm not moving and making the pain worse, then I don't feel it as much. Like you get used to, like if I told you to listen to your body right now and tell me if there is somewhere where you're feeling pain or where you're not feeling comfortable, you will tell me. You will tell me. Now that I'm thinking about it, my eyes hurt. Now that I'm thinking about it, my legs are tired. My back doesn't feel the way that I think it should feel. Now that I think about it, I feel something, you know what I'm saying? So the mind is able to make you forget the pain, basically. So it can get used to the pain. So I would only feel the pain when I try to move. But that didn't mean that my leg was healing. No. So that's how it works. It's like maybe physical suffering, you can get used to it. So, but then if you keep on experiencing emotional suffering, sometimes you're given things and these things are taken away from you, and you can see that that's how the hell room works. People that you love die, people that you love leave you, people that you love traumatize you, people that you love steal from you. You do lose the things that you have, things change in your life, you suffer emotionally, and that was the point of this. So if there was the point of this, of course the answer would be detachment. Of course the answer would be you not being too attached to things, realizing that the intention was to play with my mind. I remember I gave you this example many times. I might have given you this example maybe more than 5 times. From the TV series South Park. If you've watched South Park, there's a character, Eric Cartman. Eric Cartman is like almost everyone's favorite. It's funny. He's in 4th grade. A short person was sent to their school to talk about bullying. Words are like bullet, but they were making fun of someone in real life. How South Park can be. So so this person spoke about how words are like bullets, blah 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 blah. Eric Cartman started laughing like crazy, never stopped laughing. And the guy told the principal that, what, I need you to call Eric Cartman to the office so that I can teach him something. And they were like, no, because they know Eric Cartman. But he didn't listen, and Eric Cartman continued to bully him. They even ended up fighting. But there's something that I thought was brilliant that he did. He called the other kids uh, to this place where they play basketball, and he told them that, yo, when Eric comes, you must call him Fatso or something like that, because he was fat. Eric Kedman was fat. So as soon as he got inside, they started calling him Fatso, and he got angry. He got really angry. He got really, really angry, until the guy revealed himself, and he said, "You see how it's like." And Kedman started laughing. The reason why Kedman started laughing is because he realized that all that was not real. It was only being done because that guy wanted them to do it. So it's something that you also have to realize about this realm, that most of the things that you have to deal with are not even real. They are only happening because they are beings, or there's a force that is feeding off your negative energy, and it's used to it. So the more you give it this negative energy, the more powerful it becomes. You see? But if you learn to detach yourself, if you learn to laugh at it, and oh, so you created that? Really, my G? Cool. Because you're not in control. Like I said, you don't try to control this. So you detach yourself, and you realize that a lot of things that hurt you are not even supposed to hurt you. Remember that girl that broke up with you in 2020? You were stressing, you couldn't even sleep. But when you think back, you're like, why? Why wasn't I able to sleep? I wasn't able to do anything. I wasn't able to eat, but why? You were too damn attached. You see, that is why breakups are very painful, is because we become too attached to people. And detaching ourselves is going to be difficult. But once you're detached, you realize that, oh, I was heading over nothing. You know? Most people are not even like wealth. Like, listen, you can lose a person, a person that's actually a good person for you. But most people that you've lost in your life weren't even good for you. You just thought they were, right? But also, even if you lose a person who's good for you, you can still detach yourself from them and heal. In fact, it's much harder to heal from those who are not doing good to you than it is to heal from a person who was good to you. It's crazy. Crazy how this realm actually works. It's all upside down. And it's something that people need to realize as they become more and more conscious. Like, when you reach your final form, you must be able to see that this is not real, and you must be brave enough to show this realm that you know that it is not real, right? Like, I know you're not real. That's why I was telling you about the Truman Show and how he would have freed himself. It was not by him trying to escape the town. It was really by him realizing that everything was not real. Because if he can escape, let's just say he escaped the town, how sure was he that he's not going to find himself in another matrix, in another false reality, in another place where everyone is acting? You get what I'm saying? So it's about him realizing now that, oh, it's not real. And if they reveal themselves, then he questions, like, from that point forward, he's surviving by questioning himself. So maybe they would confess that, okay, yeah, actually, we're not going to lie to you. Unless maybe they had technology to wipe off his memories, but it doesn't seem like they did. Or maybe they did, I'm not sure. But again, if he can build enough character, like, I mean, if he can build a strong enough character that will, even if they wipe off his memories, some part of it will remain, that's stubborn enough to ask the right questions, then maybe they will not even be able to manipulate him over and over and over again. Because he became, like, his whole, like, his whole existence, or let me say, his true nature now is a doubtful being, right? Like, he's just doubtful. So even if they wipe off his memories, he come out as something doubtful again. You know, so it's not easy to control, because he was so damn doubtful that that's all that he became. Because why should you be sure? Why should you be sure of something that you don't even know? I mean, it felt scripted. You know, weird things happened to him. He would My favorite scene was when a kid, when he was entering a bus, a kid saw him and he was like, she was like, isn't that? And then the mom was like, close the mouth. I think that's what happened. Yeah, it's like, no, stop talking. And he probably noticed that, but then he was like all the clues were there, but because he believed it was real. You see, here's the thing. The reason why when you're dreaming you don't even realize that it's not real, you don't even realize that it's just a dream, is because you believe it's real. So you don't see the clues that it's not. But if you already believe that it wasn't, you will see all the clues. We see the clues of what we already believe. Even if the belief that we have isn't based on truth. Let's say you believe everyone hates you. Even if people show you love, you will think they're pretending. And when they don't act the way that people who love you will act, even if it's just once, let's just say they did 100 things right and then they did one thing wrong. You want to focus on that one thing that they did wrong. You're like, oh, that's evidence. You see that you don't like me because you made this mistake. Because you didn't come and you said you're going to come, so you don't like me. It's like, I've always been coming through. I've always had your back. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it's like. If you think this is real, you're going to see evidence that proves to you that it's real. But if you see that it's not real, then you're going to see evidence that proves to you that this isn't real. You see? It's only a mind game, and the sooner you realize that, the better. I know that there are some things that you believe, but maybe you believe with your mind, but not with your heart, not with your soul. Like, you don't believe these things on every level. It's like if you were in love with someone who didn't love you, you were projecting your love onto them, right? Because that happens. They call it hotspotting, basically. Like you're hotspotting your love, basically. Like the other person doesn't love. So what is happening is that you think they love you because you are projecting your love onto. So if one day they say they don't love you anymore, it will be very hard. Like, it will take you months for you to realize that they didn't love me. It will take you months. It will take, even if you think it with your mind, but your heart will struggle to accept it. So it's the same thing with this reality. It takes time for people to actually realize that this isn't real. So you find that when you think about it, it's like, it makes sense. It's not real, but then your heart doesn't accept it. Your soul doesn't accept it. So it takes time. It's something that you have to work on. But if you pay close attention, it will become apparent that it isn't. It needs you to pay a very close attention without making things up, without trying to survive, without caring. You know what I'm saying? Just observe. It will begin to make sense. You look at me and be like, okay, Benedictine, yeah, he was onto something. You see, he was really onto something. So don't try to bend the spoon. Only try to realize the truth. No matter how hard it is to realize the truth, but only try to realize the truth. The spoon that you thought was there all along isn't there. It was just a projection of your mind. It would be like if you were in a dream and you were being chased by a monster. If you realize that that monster is not even real, maybe that monster will turn into something else, because it's your mind that bends. Everything is a product of your mind. So you're a victim of your own projection. So I'll call this madness, basically. Suffering in your own mind. It's madness, because that's what madness is. It's like if you been to a mental hospital, you see people believe they're seeing things, screaming sometimes, suffering sometimes, talking alone, getting angry. You know what I'm saying? and you'd say they're crazy, but you're also doing the same thing. You are seeing things that are not real, and you believe they are real, and you believe the story, right? There's a reason why I made a video titled "The Story." My story is not real, right? So you believe the story, like it's real. It would be like if you were watching a movie and what things that you didn't want to see happen in the movie, and you got angry and you started screaming, and maybe you hit the TV. You know, people do that. You know, it's been many people who have done that actually. Like almost anything that you can think of has been done. Just Google anything basically that a human being can do. They've done that. It's a crazy illusion that we're experiencing. If you want to Google that, someone put their tongue on an electric fence. Someone has done that. I remember there's this video that I came across on TikTok of this guy saying, you know, when I was young, I used to wonder why they would say, do not, like you just say, you buy something that's not supposed to be eaten. It's supposed to be used, like a polish, for an example. And then they say, do not eat it or something like that. He'll be like, why would they say that? Obviously, people know that they're not supposed to eat it. But he was like, no, actually, they know that someone would eat it. If they say, you know what I'm saying? Or someone have eaten it. So that's why they say, do not eat it. Someone has eaten polish. I believe that. Someone, like anything that you can think of, someone has done it. Just Google someone dying from eating polish or something like that. You will find it. This is an example that just came to my head now. But someone has done it. Someone has done it. You see? If they say, like in a zoo, they say don't jump into a lion's pit or something. Someone has jumped. If you search on Google, someone has jumped. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy. It's a crazy illusion that we're experiencing. But the trick is in realizing that it is not real and it never was. And if you are close to realizing that, then you've been doing the right kind of work. You know, you have truly been investigating reality, which is something that or what you believe to be other people are not doing. So you have been doing what 99% of people are not doing, because you want to be free. You are tired of experiencing something that is not real but that seems real, and you taking it seriously, and you suffering because you're taking it seriously. You're tired of that. You know, now you want to wake up. Now you want to realize what you really are. So you're waking up to your truest power. So you detach yourself. And just like I keep on telling you, that in a dream, to win, you must detach yourself. You must realize that it's just a dream. If you take it seriously, obviously you're going to suffer. There's no other way. There's a reason why we suffer in our dreams. It's not like we don't suffer in our dreams. It's not like things go well all the time. Most of the dreams that you have are just like what's happening in this world, right? Good things do happen, but bad things also happen. It's not like you just have a dream that is just good all the time. You know, you find that sometimes you'll expect something to happen and it doesn't happen, and then something else happens. You know, that's how it works. So you must realize that even in your dream, you do produce loosh. Isn't it crazy? Even when you're dreaming, you do produce loosh. Even when you're watching movies, you do produce loosh. I told you about the movie Smile. How do they make these horror movies? You produce loosh when watching a horror movie. But that's the point of it. And this has always been the point of it. It's for you to be producing loosh. Without even realizing that you're doing that. Because if you realize that you're doing that, then you'll stop producing loosh, because you realize that you will suffer more when you produce good loosh. See, if you get super scared and you're producing loosh, and that's probably good loosh. If you get too hurt, you're producing loosh, and that's probably good loosh. You know what I'm saying? Can you imagine the Alcons talking? Like, yo, man, my human produces like the best luge, bro. Like the best, the best. Like I don't think you guys know what it's like to have someone and you'll be producing the best luge. It's all a mind game. It's all it's ever been. It's not real and it will never be. Stop lying to yourself. If you were not lying to yourself, stop allowing others to lie to you. Don't believe this. Keep on working on freeing yourself. You free yourself mentally. I remember Jay said something in one of his freestyles. He said, we don't really gotta live the hood physically. We gotta live it mentally. And I thought that was powerful. Like, let's forget about selling drugs, you know? Let's forget about that, because at the end of the day, even if you can justify it and say, yeah, I just wanted to survive, you know, because I was born in the hood, that's why I was selling crack cocaine. I remember that's what Lil Wayne said in his song Misunderstood. But there are activities that can make them money. You know what I'm saying? So if they work together, I'm not saying it's not easy. Let's not, you know, sometimes I was talking to someone about this. I was like, sometimes we focus on justifying why we can't be something that we want to be. It's like, no, we get it. Yes, you were born in the hood and it's hard to make it and all of that. But it doesn't mean it's impossible. So should you focus on why you can't make it, or should you focus on why you can make it? Because you can. It's not that you can't. Focus on why you can make it. Focus on why you can stop selling drugs and start something else. You know, Jay used to sell drugs, but then he ended up making it. And of course, now he can say that. It's easy for him to say that, but still it's true. Like, let's leave the hood mentally. Let's stop destroying our kids. These are our kids. You know, we can't be selling this stuff to them. If we want to be taken seriously in the world as black people, let's stop. Yes, we were born in the project. Yes, we went through what we went through, but let's stop with all of that and build strong communities ourselves. Protect ourselves, you know. Let what we consider to be good win. Not easy, but not impossible. So you leave the hell room manually, so that even if you find yourself in your next life in the hell realm, you are also able to live it mentally. Because how long is it going to take for you to realize that you're in a hell room, unless you build a strong enough character that is brave enough to just fight through the illusion? So whenever you find yourself in these false worlds that are, you know, painful to be in, you always figuring out how to detach yourself. You find that that's what you do. You're like, oh, a hell realm. You detach yourself, even if you don't remember your past, because that sucks, man. It really does suck. You know, I woke up, I had a dream that it felt like it was a good dream, in you know, but I forgot. Like I just remembered that there was a bus, there was a girl, there was my cousin. Like we were in my village, but not where I used to live, in this other house and all. Like I don't remember the story, but it was interesting. It was an interesting dream. So why do we forget our dreams? Because that's wrong. It's not for a good reason. We're not forgetting our dreams for a good reason. There's not good reason why we forget. Even if you want to say, you forget your dreams so that you can be able to focus on this experience that you are having. No. That might make sense on some level, but when you try to think about it more deeply, you'll be like, nonsense. I need to remember everything. Or unless we're just in a simulation and remembering every dream, maybe it's um, maybe the matrix won't be like, it's like if you you have a RAM, right, or playing a game, right, it has to focus on what you are seeing at the time, because you can't, the game can't process everything at the same time. Like your computer won't be able to work, basically, like it will crash if it had the game had to process everything at the same time. So maybe you can say that, but still, if this was a simulation, we'll still need to know the truth. We'll still need to know why we forget our dreams. So even if this was a simulation, it will still be a hell realm, and all the things that I told you will still be true. That the answer is in detachment, not in you being so invested in the story, because that's how you lose. That's how you sink in deep into the rabbit hole and lose your power and your soul and your authenticity. Thank you all guys for watching until the end. Just like in the previous video, if you've watched the video until the end, please tell me in the comment. And also, if you want me to talk about a topic, because you've watched until the end, I'm like, hi, please, it's just suggest the topics. I have to, yeah, I have to talk about the topics that you'd want me to talk about. Subscribe to the channel. Yeah, tell me what you think about what I've said. Like the video, share the video. Thank you.